everybody, this is Tuesday's video part 2. So we're going to talk a little bit about the third writing response that's due tomorrow, Wednesday at 4 p.m. So again, I'm sorry for linking them back to back. I forgot about the 4th of July for some reason, but these are short writing responses, mildly, they're in between formal writing for your papers and informal free writes. So please do your best on them. So for this third writing response, which again you guys will submit under coursework, exploratory writing, just like you did for the first writing response. For this one, however, I'm asking you to create your own ad and type up an ad explanation. So that sounds like a ton of work, and I'm sure a lot of you are already panicking. However, don't panic. I literally just created my own ad, and it took me maximum 7 minutes, okay? So just go and find a picture, or you can even take a picture. You can have take a friend's photo, whatever. I chose one from, this is my friend's photo. He was actually here, and I thought it was a really cool photo. I thought the lighting was really great. I didn't alter anything. This is just a natural photo. I added these two things though. See more than just your couch, and book now at bookmytrip.com. So this is, I think, a made up thing, bookmytrip.com. There's booking.com, but so you're basically promoting a fake organization or a fake product. You can take a picture of your watch, your shoes, whatever. The main point of this assignment is not the creation of the ad, but the deconstruction of the ad. So what that means is once you have something like this, which when you submit it, you'll submit your image and your one-page double-spaced writing response. So what I would do after I created this is I would type up one-page double-spaced writing response, basically explaining my creative decisions. So why did I decide to add this text? I did mess around with the font a little bit. I made it white so it would be easier to view. I also centered both of them because of the alignment in the middle with the woman's body. And also there's kind of a horizontal line leading you down this path. So it's almost like inviting you in through the jungle and also down this path. So I would talk about alignment a lot in probably a full paragraph. And then I would talk about probably textual elements, the simplicity of it and the clarity of it. The purpose is, I could talk about the domesticity of the home space versus the kind of exotic location that we don't normally see. Okay, so this is kind of a miniature this is a miniature rhetorical analysis. Excuse me, brain fart. So just submit that on Wednesday, and then your next writing response will do Friday. Again, this is fast-paced course. We got to fit all of the required English department required readings and writings into the 6-week period. Okay, so for the rest of this video, we're going to take a look at the sample paper that I had you read and the deconstructing ad 2-page response that I had you read. So for these, the deconstructing ad, we'll actually look at the sample paper first. This is the first one. There are two online. I'm assuming you guys read one of them, Racism in America Running in Place. So this author is working off of this political cartoon. Like I said last time, I had students analyze political cartoons, but for this class we're doing movie posters. So I hope you have chosen a movie poster or have already started writing your alternative movie poster kind of defense of a different one. So she is looking at this political cartoon. It's a satire of the race war in America. Look how far we've come. Emmett Till was a pre-civil rights African American who was murdered, essentially, according to the satire here, quote, while being black. Jordan Davis is a more contemporary example of an African American being murdered, again, quote, according to the Rob Rogers who created this political cartoon, quote, while being black. Okay, so this student in sample paper 1 is providing a rhetorical analysis of this political cartoon. So she starts with a introductory paragraph that talks a little bit about the race relations, a little bit of the history. She already mentions the cartoon And then she drops down into a really, really long but amazingly structured thesis statement. Tomorrow's video will be all about thesis statements, so don't worry about this too much. I'll probably go back and refer to how this is probably one of the best thesis statements I've read of student work. She then goes into a little bit of background. So remember how I said most students organize their papers by rhetorical element, one of those 9, or by foreground, middle ground, background. She decided to do the former. She decided to organize it by rhetorical element. So this whole paragraph is about context. She's talking a little bit about the context of the cartoon, but then she goes more specifically into the historical context of Emmett Till's death and then Jordan Davis's death. Okay, so she's had to do some research here. For your papers, you're looking at movie posters, and they were all created within specific contexts, like any production, essentially. So the things that you might be most familiar with is like the Purge election year. It says, let's just go to it real quick. And again, these are under papers, rhetorical analysis, and movie poster choices. So I already mentioned a little bit of the Hunger Games, the 99% versus the 1%. This one here, which is appropriate timing for this class, says keep America great. Now, if you're interested at all in politics, or even if you're just living in America today, right now, you know that this is a spin-off of Donald Trump's Make America Great Again, right? His Keep America Great. It's the same kind of rhetoric here, and it's placed pretty well in time. So all of these are commenting on something larger. Moon is a movie about isolation, and as you can see here, and also his space around him. V for Vendetta is very similar to the Hunger Games in terms of 99 and 1%. Clockwork Orange is just an experience, and I highly recommend you watch it if you have not already, but be prepared, it is completely inappropriate. And Mad Max, this is obviously not the reboot, but the original. And then Night of the Living Dead, so zombie narratives and what those all have to talk about. So, okay, back to the sample paper. So that's context, all right? And the assignment sheet, it deals with race, religion, etc. This whole paper is mostly about race, as you can see. So then she dips into a little bit of textual and purpose. So she says the purpose of the cartoon is to convince people, etc., etc., etc. She talks about the atmosphere of the political cartoon, the gloominess of it, and see here she cites the political cartoon. This is something you should also do in your paper. Since you're not, since you did not create the movie poster, you should cite the movie poster that you are referring to. You can do so at the end of a paragraph as long as the full paragraph describes the movie poster. This deals with citation rules, and I will talk about that more in detail in a later video. Okay, so then she goes into pathos. How we know is in her topic sentence, which she has great topic sentences, she clearly says emotion. All right, pathos is emotion evoked from the audience. And then this one, she gets more into visual effects. So those are the 4 things: alignment, proximity, repetition, and contrast that are in the PowerPoint, but also on the assignment sheet. This is the strength of the paper, okay? And a lot of, since you guys are also doing a visual text, a movie poster, I'll be expecting you to comment on the context, the visual elements, not all of them, just whatever ones are the most important, and 2 to 3 other of the 9 rhetorical elements. I'll remind you of that in just a little bit, and also a little bit later. So the conclusion paragraph, she then says, where do we go from here? She talks about consequences of an America that maintains its status quo as a racist country and a prejudice nation. She then here has her works cited, which you will have for this paper because you'll be doing external research, again, to understand the context. Okay, So again, really, really fast. We will be dissecting these a lot more as we go along. In the next video, I'm actually going to pull apart a World War Z poster, and you'll get basically a sample of what the steps that you should be doing for this paper. Another good place to look at the steps for this paper is this Deconstructing an Advertisement PDF that I put online. It has a couple of steps, so you can follow these steps, but the ones that I follow in my brain as I'm getting ready to analyze a rhetorical analysis or write a rhetorical analysis is describe, analyze, and evaluate. So describe means just tell me what's going on physically in the movie poster. What color is it? What is the tone? Like who is there? Who are the people, the characters involved? Okay, just describe it. This seems really, really obvious, but students often try to jump into analysis without fully pulling the picture apart at the elementary or basic level. The second piece is analyze, and that is describe, analyze, and assess. That's pulling things apart. So why is it that color? Why is this character featured? Why are things placed the way that they're placed? These are all the whys. The descriptions are the whats, and the analysis are the whys. So assess. Assess will have to deal with your thesis statements, and this is it effective or not? Okay, so this goes hand in hand with analysis. You'll describe it, and then analysis and assessment might be interchanged, but at the end of the paper, you'll be doing both. So describe is always first. You can say, is this an effective movie poster or an ineffective? Again, we're not using the language of good or bad. We're judging the successfulness of it, or the if it's working or if it's not. Okay, and then the why is the analysis. If it is working, or if it is successful, or if it is effective, why? What is your defense of that? All right. Again, you're always making an argument, or you're always trying to persuade an audience. So if it's ineffective, which those papers are somewhat more interesting to me because you have to defend yourself a little bit more. Okay. So again, describe, analyze, and assess, or describe, assess, analyze, whatever order you want to have those in. Okay, so this makes similar claims, but just in a lot more words. All right. Observe. That's describe. It's the same thing. So you think of 5 adjectives that describe the ad. That's a really good practice to start with. Is it foreboding? Is it sparse? Is it intimidating? Think of something that you can use later in your paper. Look at the aesthetics. So how many people are in the ad? What are the genders? I have purposely put up pretty male-dominated movie posters, mostly because in the genre of dystopian or post-apocalyptic or futuristic movies, they tend to have male protagonists. So the Hunger Games kind of broke that pattern at the young adult level. So where's the camera? Is it close to the subject, far away? What about the lighting, the color? Does it have any text? All right, these are dipping into the 9 rhetorical elements. I tried to create a more concise list rather than all of these questions, but both of them are valuable. All right, the purpose. This is going to be pretty important. What product's being sold? So obviously you don't need to put the purpose is to attract viewers to watch the movie. Think about a larger purpose. So this will be hand in hand with context. Is it trying to comment on the 99 and the 1%? Is it trying to comment on isolation or wealth or race or class? Okay. Is it appealing or not? This is successful or successful or ineffective, basically. What's the target audience, etc., pathos. Okay. And then these two are really great. You should read both of these if you have not already. This talks about stereotypes and consequences. We will mention them a little bit later, but a lot of these are centered around like class and race, again, the context of these things. And that's where you'll get most of your word count. Okay, email me if you have questions. I will post another 2 videos tomorrow. And keep up with the free writes and the writing responses. And we'll dig into this unit a little bit more.